In our news bulletin for this evening, the University of Canterbury have offered a scholarship for the Niue High School Ducks for this year. The Niue Power Corporation are working on faulty engines and machinery to improve service to customers. Niue High School students portrayed team spirit during the school's annual sports day last Friday. The Ducks for Niue High School this year now has the option of studying at the University of Canterbury following an offer of a scholarship made last week. The Department of Education and Niue High School are very pleased to accept the offer of the University of Canterbury scholarship towards the first-year tuition fees for the 2016 Ducks holder. An announcement was made during the Niue High School Sports Day that the university would like to offer a scholarship. According to a scholarship advisor from the University of Canterbury, this has been something that they have been working on for a few years now to formally offer a scholarship.
The first award will be for study in 2017. So the 2016 Ducks will be the recipient of that award. And the scholarship is $6,000 towards tuition fees for study. But also that award allows the student to defer it for a year. So should the Ducks want to take a gap year in 2017, then they can request that and the scholarship can be taken up in 2018. Canterbury has the only school of forestry in New Zealand. We're also well known for engineering, so professional engineering, it's only Auckland and Canterbury. And where we are in Christchurch, our halls of residence are basically on campus, and it's 2 hours to the ski fields. The beach is not far away, and it's a few hours to other attractions in the South Island. We have the Crusaders, so the University of Canterbury has a partnership with the Canterbury Crusaders and also with the tactics team, so that's the netball team. Students get discounted tickets to the Crusaders games and the tactics games. So also at the University of Canterbury we have the Students Volunteer Army, so that came out of the 2011 earthquakes. A lot of the students join, including the high school students in Christchurch, and so there are community products that happen all the time and the students go out and help.
Niue High School students are not the only ones who will benefit from this opportunity, because the University of Canterbury has also approved for scholarships on offer for students from the Cook Islands and Tokelau. As a scholarships advisor at the university and a former Niue High School student, Lindsay has a fair bit of advice for students to consider as they prepare for the next phase in life for studies towards career pathways.
My advice to the students in terms of scholarships, there will be some universities that have scholarships that the Niue High School students can apply for. You've got the NZ8 scholarship, so I recommend especially if you're unsure where to study at, is to apply for scholarships at all the different universities and see what you get offered, and also in terms of courses, apply to the different universities, and then you can decide when your results come out in January. So a lot of the students in New Zealand do that as well, so you might have students who accept a scholarship to Canterbury, then they might get a better offer at Auckland, or when their results come out they may change from, say, intending to study medicine to doing engineering. It's always good keeping your options open, and also in terms of scholarships, if you're unsure whether you want to do a Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Arts, you can look at doing a double degree. So we encourage that for students if they're unsure of what to take, and some students in their first year will take courses from different subject areas, and then they decide after the first year to specialise in one area. So it's always a good idea in terms of scholarships to keep your options open, but also in terms of career pathways to keep your options open.
Since 2010, there has been a scholarship on offer from the University of Otago, valued at $5,000. Towards tuition fees, but this latest development could open up further opportunities and choices for the top student at Niue High School to consider their options. Both scholarships are specifically offered for the Niue High School Ducks. In addition, the government of Niue also offers an extra $5,000 annual scholarship to the Ducks holder of Niue High School. Students are also being encouraged to research what qualifications are on offer and to plan ahead. Power outage in Niue could be the thing of the past now, with the transition period at the Niue Power Corporation in full swing. The implementation of some initiatives to improve the capabilities of generating units to cater for the power demands at all times, especially during peak hours, is paramount, and the Niue Power Corporation is aware of what is required to provide a good service to the consumers.
One of our generators was acting up a wee bit, hoping over the next 6 months to improve the current situation. We appreciate everybody's patience during the minor issue with the power, but assure everybody we're doing everything possible on our side to keep the lights on at night. So with improvements to a power network, they're not immediate things that are fixed because of a new person's role coming on board. However, we're in a better position now than we were in 6 months ago, and in 6 months forward we're going to be in a much better position than we are now. So the path is now being laid out for us to improve on what we have. I believe looking forward in 6 months to another 12 months' time, the power system here is going to be a lot more reliable and robust than what it has been over the last 12 months.
These generating units operate at high speed at all times, and the Niue Power Corporation is working towards what needs to be replaced instead of going through complete wholesale changes. Another initiative already in place has yet to reach its full potential is the solar generating system. And Niue Power Corporation has engaged with New Zealand to provide a service that will allow the system to work and synchronize with the generating units, which will achieve one of its targets, improving the fuel consumption efficiencies. With the impending arrival of another generating unit from New Zealand, the forecast is for a minimum of no power cuts, as it has been the case for the last 6 months. The corporation is utilizing what is available in Niue to implement and achieve a positive outcome, and while they are aware that there will be many challenges, they are confident that Niue Power is on the right track to improve and accomplish its target to providing constant power to the consumers. Niue High School pulled out all the stops for the annual Sports Day program held on Friday last week. The day began with a march past, but this year's theme reflected on team spirit and was incorporated into the short chants and items on the day. Marching routines proved to be quite interesting, with different formations, inclusion of team mascots, banners displaying messages, and new uniforms to complete the look. Acting Minister for Social Services, Honourable Fisa Pingia, encouraged students to try their very best using principles of hard work, team spirit, and simple things like punctuality that can be transferred across other aspects of life. According to the Niue High School Principal, Charles Yawane, the decision to include a majority of the field events on the day was to allow parents to watch their children compete in perhaps the only events they would get to contribute to in sports, and the whole idea was for inclusion. After the formal speeches, a representative from the marching judges was able to announce the placings that had Kieto as marching champs for this year, making a comeback from 4th last year. Bulletin came in 2nd, Moya placed 3rd, and Langakali 4th. Events ran relatively smoothly, but were dragged out a bit, concluding just after 3 in the afternoon. And by the end of the day, the overall points were tallied up, and it was Bulletin who managed to get the most points as the overall sports champions for 2016. Those are our news stories that we have for this evening. We do hope you can join us for our next news bulletin.